Welcome to the Main Event Podcast, episode number 17. Jason Carter along with Steve McCullum.
Hello, hello.
And it is officially a World Cup week. Well, I guess we officially have some games in the World Cup, finally. I know you've been keeping close ties on that.
I think everybody has played now. The last couple of guys kicked off today for their beginning matches, and I think everybody has a game in now.
And Russia is dominating their second game over Egypt right now, it looks like. I guess that's what the EGY stands for. I think that was Egypt.
Yes, sir. Yes. And, I don't know because I missed the beginning of it. I had to go pick Ethan up. But Egypt might be without their star player, so that doesn't excuse a 3-1.
Don't even know who their star player would be.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know his name.
Well, it's also College World Series going on right now. We got on in the background here at
Is that starting today? Sorry.
No, it's been on for. But right now on the background here at the studios, at the Gestalt Studios is
Gestalt Kitchen Studios.
Yeah, the Kitchen Studios. We got Florida and Texas playing right now. Florida's up 1-0 here in the top of the first. 2 outs would be huge if Texas got out of the inning with only 1 run, because first 7 pitches there was runners at the corners with no outs. So
yeah, I haven't gotten into the College World Series yet, like I did the softball one. The softball one was on all the time, every day, all the time. And
I think it makes the softball one great, though. It's only like 4 days, so it's pretty quick.
Yeah, but yeah, they can play multiple games in a day. That's what's exciting about it too, So,
but anyways, make sure you like us on the social medias. We got the Twitter at the Main Event Pod, also on Facebook at the Main Event Pod. You can follow me on Twitter at JasonCarter03. You can follow Steve at
SMAC500, SMAC500.
You can also hit me up at JasonCarter03 on the Snapchats. I believe Steve's the same. Yeah. I'm on the Instagrams, so make sure you do it all. Do it all. And man, how was your week?
It was good, man. Another week. World Cup's been going on since Thursday? So Thursday had the one game. That was a good time, but I've been going to bed late and waking up early to watch some games. Luckily, some of the early 4:30 a.m. start times here in Phoenix have been games I haven't wanted to watch, so I haven't had to get up that early. But, it's exciting getting up and, watching the game of football early in the morning, It really is. I do, at least. I know a lot of people are like, where is this passion? I've always had a passion for soccer. I just don't tune into the MLS. But I'll watch the Premier League on a Saturday if the 2 good teams are going together and everything.
I never get that. Why people would be like, oh, you didn't have this passion last week. Well, the World Cup wasn't going on last week.
That's the thing. The World Cup wasn't going on, Well, you weren't like this in qualifying because qualifying is boring, So let's be real. And if it was televised, I would probably watch it, to be honest with you.
I did watch, because the USA qualifier was on. And I watched that because if they won, they would obviously been in the World Cup.
Yeah, so I remember lost to Panama, right?
Yeah, watching those few games, and I was like, oh my God, these guys, they are an embarrassment to their country.
Yeah, they allow. We're giving Americans. We let Panama win so they could go to their first World Cup ever. So
because we knew that we already have the automatic bid, and in 8 years we have the automatic bid.
Yeah, we gave Panama the spot, and then promptly watched them. Lose their first game.
I love how people are like, I hope Team USA is watching this. Like, well, they probably are because they're soccer people.
Yeah, exactly.
I doubt they're like, we're not going to watch the World Cup. Like, it's the World Cup, so.
It used to be the MLS shut down during, all the other soccer leagues shut down because obviously their biggest stars are all playing if they made it. But I don't know. I don't know if the MLS did shut down or not, if they are still playing.
Couldn't tell you. It's kind of like the Winter Olympics used to be, NHL would shut down for February.
Well, that's because all the players went to play. But
everybody was
soccer's different, but you can have, you can have some schlub on the, that never plays in an MLS that's on some team like, Egypt or Saudi Arabia or something. He's not even born there. It's just his grandparents. It's kind of like the Olympics where if a distant family member was part of that, or was a citizen, then you can claim it and go play there.
It was like, what was it, the World Baseball Classic? I forgot who it was, but they decided to play for, this team. And he's not even really an American. He should be playing on this team.
Wasn't that somebody that played for Italy or something?
I'm having a hard time remembering.
he went.
Because it was a big
played.
story when it came out. I don't remember what it was.
But they wouldn't have played for the American team, so they went to the.
It was like their mom played or their mom was this descent, so they did that. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, and it was, like I said, it was because he wasn't going to be on the American team, so he wanted to play in it, so he went and did that exactly. So turned his back on America.
But anyways, great weekend overall. I know we were at the racetrack Saturday night, watched some great racing with the stock car guys. The Father's Day Fallout. Some really good main events that night. Mother Nature definitely played in part.
A track that's prepped by all that rain is an awesome track to watch play. Definitely.
And I always enjoyed the rain during the day. I always hate when like the track runners would like call it like, it stopped raining at 2. We're gonna go ahead and call this. And I'm like, why call it? Like you're just gonna pour enough water on the racetrack anyway. It's like
yeah, and I don't know the specifics, but it seems to me that as long as nothing's flooded, then race on if it's not raining still.
I know like some of the tracks. I mean, I remember when I announced the canyon, it would always flood and all that stuff. But
it would flood down there on the bottom, and I can understand that. But I'm glad to see. I mean, Tucson canceled on Saturday. They canceled early in the morning, 10 or 11 on that. And
I think by the time the rain got up here, though, it was already pretty much like just kind of sprinkles and stuff.
I think it stopped at the house. It rained pretty consistently because we live like 3 miles from the track, directly across from it. I think it stopped around 10:30 or 11, but it wasn't a hard rain. It was a harder rain than we normally get, but it wasn't a hard rain, and nothing was flooding. And then we haven't had rain in over 100 plus days, so it just soaks into the ground instantly. It's like almost like it doesn't even rain. I expected it to be more muddy out there than it was.
Oh, I know. Like we got out there and there was like nothing. So I mean, they definitely a good job. I think with all the cars going down that road, though, it kind of dries it up.
But even like in the stands where you walked and everything, I expected to get a little bit more muddy going up the hill to the stands and everything. Yeah,
it was all pretty dry by the time we got there. The wind and all that stuff coming in, so that was good to see. But you'll hear more about what happened Saturday night and throughout this weekend. The Racing with Jason podcast. We are going to do that tomorrow.
We're going live
with it, so we will get the teaser out there. And I have a public enemy already, numero uno, so you'll hear more about that tomorrow.
Oh, excellent.
Awesome. I mean, unless you want a teaser for it.
No, you that was a teaser.
Okay.
That was good.
There you go. That was a good teaser.
I have no idea who you're talking about, so I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Get that going this Thursday. Going to go live with the website, gestaltproduction.com. So you'll be able to see all the videos that we do and all the podcasts and everything right there in your number one spot, your one-stop shop.
Exactly. So we'll have the Facebook pages and then the one-stop stop on the website. And we're looking for people, and we're talking to several people about content for the website. So if you know of anybody that wants to get into this, write some articles, do some reviews. Some video work, things like that, let us know, because we're definitely looking for people for content on the website. It'd be exciting to go. We got a couple originals being worked on right now. I don't know when those are going to come out. Got one of the review. Me and the kids went up to northern Arizona to a wildlife park, I guess you would call it, on Friday, and the kids wanted to do a review on that. They were working the cameras. I did all the editing, but they were kind of working the cameras. They were kind of running it. I was kind of just trying to keep them streamlined, but that's going to be popping up here as an original here coming up on the review on that for what we did the weekend, for Father's Day weekend. So
yes, happy Father's Day. I guess belated Father's Day to you, Steve.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, we sat at home all day and did nothing.
Today is actually a special day for me because 2 years ago on Father's Day is when my ex-wife gave me the best gift of all, and that was the birth of my son. I just got done FaceTiming him. He's hanging out with the mother, her former mother-in-law, grandma, I guess you can say.
Grandma, yes.
Grandma and Pappy.
You have to call
have to go
your
grandma.
Parents. Like I call my parents grandma and grandpa, and when I'm in a different company and my kids aren't around and I do that, people stare at me funny. Just because you got to get in that habit.
Yeah, you gotta be like,
you can't say mom and dad.
You hang out with grandma and grandpa and all that stuff. So yeah. So do you want to hear about the birth of Nolan?
I don't. Can we just post a video? That you made me watch?
She didn't let me take the video. I don't know. But no, it was good. Father's Day, actually, 2 years ago. Good Father's Day, first opening Father's Day for me. So I guess this was my third to celebrate, even though he is only 2.
Was he born in the morning or in the afternoon?
Afternoon. 1:31 Central Time in the afternoon.
You know that?
Yes, I know that. because it mainly came up on my Facebook today on my shared memory.
I was gonna say, oh my goodness, I couldn't tell you.
But no, he was born at 1:31 in the afternoon. The first thing that he ever saw the light of day of was actually the U.S. Open, and that was the year when there was that weird penalty that like Dustin Johnson.
Is that the one where he grounded his club?
Yeah, like the club was grounded or something like that.
Sand trap, but it wasn't a sand trap.
And then the guy on Twitter brought it up to USGA's attention. It was like, oh yeah, you're right. We're going to penalize so and so.
It was a course rule, and normally it was a sand trap, but normally it wasn't a sand trap. It was one of the others. I think it was normally it was a sand trap, but in the Open normally it wasn't a sand trap, but in the Open they said it was a sand trap. Anyway, I don't remember 2015. You guys just listen to me stutter for a minute.
That was 2016, 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there you are. But yeah, Nolan was born. Nolan Wayne Carter, 1:31 p.m.
Happy
5 pounds, 8 ounces.
2 years old. How much?
5 pounds, 8 ounces.
Oh, wow.
He was born. He was a little preemie. He came out 2.5 weeks early. He was supposed to be born. Well, they always estimate those due dates, I feel like. So they said July 2nd.
There's like a minimum. I don't remember what it is now because my kids are 10 and 7. But there's a minimum date they want them in there till, and then they can take them out anytime.
Yeah, like after the due date, it's like, all right, we'll take it out now because you're in pain and you're pregnant and your feet are swollen.
Ethan was 34, 35 days early. He was 4 pounds 11.
And it was quick. Like, was Ethan like quick?
Well, it's pretty quick when the doctors walk in the room, slam open the doors, throw these scrubs at you, and say, "Get ready," and then they're hauling her off into the.
Did you wear scrubs?
I had to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't wear scrubs.
Oh no, this was like major surgery. Like they had to take
gotcha.
Ethan out because we were gonna lose Holly if he stayed in there very much longer.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a long story. We don't. Yeah.
We don't need any of that.
I need a leather couch, but if I knew now what I knew now, but if I knew then what I know now, that was a joke.
Keep it on there longer.
Yeah, that was a joke. But then Ireland was scheduled, which is the greatest thing ever. So Ethan was like fast in terms of, we had to get him out for emergency reasons. Ireland was cool because we scheduled it. It was like 10:30 in the morning, C-section.
Oh, yeah?
So, you got up in the morning, you had breakfast, we dropped a car off at the shop to get brakes redone, drove down to the hospital. It was just so relaxing, the whole morning, reading the paper, drinking coffee.
So with ours, Bree came in, we were in bed, and I remember her waking up, and I kind of, rolled over, It was, start of summer, so the sun was up at, 6 o'clock, and you're like, why is the sun up so damn early, in the summer?
Yeah.
And
you were in Chicago, right?
So we were in Chicago, and then she went to the bathroom, so I just kind of went back to sleep, whatever, and she says, "Hey babe," I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" She's like, "My water just broke." I was like, "What?" And I heard her on the phone talking to someone. I didn't know who she was talking to, and I guess she was she called the doctor hey, my water just broke. What do I do now, So she was on the phone before I was even awake, called her mom, her sister. She let everybody know, hey, water broke, yada, yada, yada. And then I get hey, my water broke. I'm wake up, okay, time to freak out and panic now, right? Total panic mode. We're having a baby, it's time. And she's like, the nurse said I'll be fine, take a shower and everything. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So she took a shower. I got ready, she got ready, and we headed off. I'm like, all right, cool, we're doing this. We were just driving casually.
See, I missed all of that with both of my kids. I don't know what any of that is. With Ethan, I had to walk down to the Lamaze class place that I signed up for and cancel my appointment for that week. And the lady's like, why are you canceling? I'm like, because my kid's in the other room.
See, we didn't do any of the classes. We did none of the Lamaze classes, which I think it would probably would have came in handy because we were in the room. We're sitting there and she was in so much pain. It was super fast, contractions, right? Is that the word, contractions?
Yes.
So it was super fast contractions. And I remember I was just kind of trying to walk her through it by just using Rocky quotes, saying no pain.
That's Jason.
And she was shut the fuck up now.
Bite on this stick.
Yeah. Here, bite on this belt right now. You'll be good. So they come in and they're obviously, she was never one of those, I want all natural birth. She was give me the fucking drugs. So they gave her.
I think that's what a lot of them do.
So they gave her the epidural, but it didn't take because we were an hour away from go time. So she's in there, and I'm like holding the leg, and I'm like, all right, babe, you're doing good, keep pushing, and it was just like, you look at her face and it's like super intense. Like childbirth is not like, that's like the one part where you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm married to a monster right now.
Yeah, see, I miss all of that. So
it was just like, get this thing out of me right now. She's just like in so much like agony and pain, like laying there. And it's just like, I felt like so bad, It's like, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm glad I'm not the one going through this, because this looks like it really sucks.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's funny because like I hear people's stories, and like I said, Ethan was hit or miss there for a while and everything, but it was never, I never had time to think about it. It was like go. But I had to wear scrubs, by the way, because I'm 6'2" and bigger, and those little paper ones, I still have them up in the closet. I wear them from time to time. Regular, those little throwaway ones don't fit on me, especially if I have clothes on.
Right.
So, and I was dressed because for Ethan I had Super Bowl tickets. So
oh yeah, that's right.
I had to text my dad
tickets
at like 5 a.m. and be like, you might want to find somebody for a Super Bowl ticket. And instead of asking if everything was okay, his response was, I'm sure I can find somebody.
You're going to ask him why.
The hardest thing for me was calling Holly's parents, because I knew like my parents wouldn't like freak out with what was going on, and I kept the details to a minimum. Partly because I didn't have time to go into it. But, everybody knew something was wrong if she was having a baby that early. Like, my parents can handle that stuff fine. But, like, her parents can't. So the hard part for me was talking to them, because, like, that was the point where I almost started breaking down, was because, like, if I said anything to them, it was going to be like, is she dying? What's going on? And I just didn't want to have that conversation at that moment. What? So I was just like, everything's fine. We're having the baby. I'll call you afterward. Like just trying to get off the phone, because they're like, and then it was like, and understandably, and so then I go into the thing, and the C-section, everything went fine, and then I go out, and like her mom's like in the waiting room.
See, but that's the worst though too. If you're like, you see those like shows like everything's fine, everything's gonna be okay, but then they actually die, and it's I guess everything wasn't okay.
Looking back, and like even at the moment, you could probably tell, like you know me, I'm kind of a calm guy. Like in situations like that, I don't get excitable, but I think, looking back and just knowing what I was saying and like my pauses, like I was probably making the situation worse.
You're sweating bullets, and it's like, Steve was not acting right. I can tell something was not right.
I'm like walking, and we knew the doctor, so the doctor was all like, "All right, cool, man, like whatever," and so he's like just talking to me and everything. So it wasn't, I had a lot of stuff going on around me, and I was just trying to like concentrate on paying attention, and it was just funny though. It was like, oh my god, but yeah, so Father's Day, that always brings back those memories and everything.
My first thought when he came out, so the doctor like brings him out, and like the TV's on like right in front of her vagina, and the doctor like brings out little Nolan. She's like, oh hey, look, golf. I was like, yes, that's right, no golf. You will be a golfer, kid. And she brought him over the table, and I was just like, what do I do now? Like he's out. Like it was like, holy shit, I'm a dad now. And then they're like, you can take pictures, and he just looked like a cold like bratwurst that's still in the package, like it was just like nasty looking, and they're like sitting there like poking him, prodding him. You're like, ugh. Like,
they didn't wipe him down first? I don't know. Like I said,
they brought him out, and they threw him on the little like incubator table. It had like the little deal. They're doing the weight, the inches, and all that stuff. And he's just like, he didn't cry. Like I thought, like you always watch the videos and movies where they come out and they're just like, like, oh, we have a baby. He was just like, what the fuck? Like, kind of looking around like, who are you, dude? Yeah, I'm like, hey, I'm your dad.
Your world, here I am. Yeah. Like mine was the opposite. So like the doctor, so she had a C-section, so they have the thing there. So I was sitting up by her head, and the doctor knew I could handle it. So the doctor sitting there, he's like, hey, you want to meet your son? And I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, take a look. So I like stick my head up over the thing, and like your stomach's out on the side, blood everywhere and everything. And I just like look at him, and I was like, thanks for that, doc. He's like, I knew you could handle it.
Yeah. So there's like
somebody could have passed out, man.
So the grossest thing is like when a woman has a vaginal birth, there's a lot of stuff that comes out extra. And
afterbirth,
it all like hits the floor, and you hear it, and you're just like, ugh. It's like he comes out, and you just hear him. like all that afterbirth coming out. But I remember like when I was holding her leg, I kind of like looked down. I was like, oh, that's a bad idea,
She's gonna love. Well, isn't that the whole joke is? Do you look or do you not look?
Right, and you're just like, oh.
Do you go to the southern hemisphere? Do you stay in the upper hemisphere?
Like we see hair, and then like his head was just like looked like a cone head, there for a bit because it comes out all squeezed out. I was like, gosh, like how do you do that, kid?
Well, I miss all of that. So, like I said, my experiences, other than the emergency situation with Ethan and everything, I missed all that stuff. So it's pretty funny when I listen to people, guys tell their dad stories when their kids were born or whatever. Because I have no recollection of that. I have no. Like I said, the second one with Ireland, it was funny. Like I joke around that I walked in with my slippers on. I walked to the hospital with my slippers on. I'm like, hey, we're ready to do this. Like,
all right, let's go.
It was like timed,
Oh yeah, hey, we're 5 minutes past. Let's go. Come on.
It was like so. It was
I told you I could have stopped at McDonald's.
It was kind of awkward, that it was that way. The other thing was with Ireland being born was she was like awake and an actual baby. When Ethan was premature, they had to put him into the incubators, all that stuff. So and then him and Holly were both just passed out the whole day. So looking back now, I could have gone to the Super Bowl and not one person would have missed me because it was the Giants Patriots Super Bowl when the Giants. Tyreek caught that catch on his head. I watched it on like a 10x10 or 5x5 screen in the room. It was like awful to watch it. And then, but I could have gone to that Super Bowl and not one person would have missed me because everybody was asleep or being attended to the whole time, the whole day and everything. So, looking back now, but you didn't know that at the time, obviously. So.
All right. But yeah, so that was fun. Anyways, did mention he was born during the U.S. Open. U.S. Open was this past weekend. Brooks Koepka, first guy to go back-to-back since the 30s. And I thought... In
a major tournament or just in general?
In U.S. Open history.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and I thought on Saturday morning, I'm glad like Freezing Cold Takes doesn't have me down as anybody who's serious because I said before Dustin Johnson teed off on Saturday, we saw Phil do the double putt thing, which we'll get into here in a minute. But I was like, it doesn't really matter what Phil does. Like Dustin Johnson's already won this thing. He's the only one.
And you
under par. He was 4 under par. Everybody else was.
You were at work, so you didn't see the meltdown. So, it was like what was he hole 3 or hole 4? And he was.
I had it on my phone. I was watching it on my phone, and I was like, I'm in my at work and our Skype chat. I was like, oh my god, Dustin Johnson's blowing this thing, and they're like, who's? I remember some like girls like, who's Dustin Johnson? I was like, U.S. Open. Like, what's that? I'm like,
Dustin Johnson is the guy that is about to be in like 80th place.
Yeah, he's the number 1 ranked golfer in the world who just totally lost that ranking this week.
Well, yeah, and the guy that won, Koepka, is that how you say it? Koepka? I always mispronounce it.
I just say Koepka.
Yeah, I know.
Or Koepka. It's not Koepka.
It's not Koepka.
Yeah, it's like Brooks Koepka.
Yeah. It was funny because he was like in 9th or 10th place Saturday when he stopped playing, and then everybody came back, so then he was in like 3rd or something.
Yeah, he was like, all these guys are like, 4 guys are tied for the lead going into Sunday. It's like, all right, this is going to get pretty exciting. I mean, he finished +1 for the weekend and won, so it wasn't too exciting, I guess. It wasn't great golf, but that course is really hard. So, I mean, I give him that. Like, the course is hard, but it made me, like, feel better about my golf game. I know if I went there, though, I'd be shooting, like, a 180.
Yeah, you would do more than 180 because those balls were not sticking.
I'm just trying to give myself a little credit.
I actually enjoyed it. I watched a lot of it between that and the World Cup, but, I mean, Saturday was ridiculous, and I would argue it was unfair, but as the day went on, it got more unfair. But when, like, Zach Johnson's complaining about the course being in bad shape, when he shoots 2 over, and he's done in the morning, and the afternoon guys go out there and shoot 78, 79s because the green's just not holding. It was literally like trying to land a golf ball on a glass table or something.
Oh, yeah. And I remember I woke up Thursday and was watching it, and I was like, wow, these greens look like dog crap, like they just do not look good at all.
The weather just took the water out of them. And that's why Saturday night to Sunday, I mean, they pretty much just
saturated them.
Yeah, I mean, it was constant watering to try to keep it going. And it was funny, Sunday, it was like a whole different tournament because people were actually landing their balls and getting them to move and come back to them, which wasn't happening on Saturday.
And I remember, I know like Fox gets a bad rap for their U.S. Open coverage, and I mean, rightfully so. They only do one tournament a year, and that's the U.S. Open.
But if you want to hear,
USGA.
if you want to hear rough sex talk, then the Fox is the way to listen to it.
Yeah, so I mean, they had a bad outing Friday night. It was Friday, right? Friday afternoon. The audio went blank for like 20 minutes, and then the cameras pick up two guys talking about like banging each other's ex-wife or something like that. I don't even remember.
It was weird. Yeah, they both knew the girl. Let's put it that way.
I was like, oh yeah, that's my ex, man. Yeah, he did like the Muppet position. I don't know what the Muppet position is.
I don't know.
But then the best part about it is like, like Joe Buck can hear that in his like headset of what's getting said, and he just goes right into, oh, and so lays it up on the green, good approach shot.
like when when I'm working the camera, I hear a lot of things that, like I was telling you, that song that was playing over the prayer the other day, I could hear that, but nobody else could hear that. So that's why I was kind of just like what do I do right now? Because I wasn't sure if it was that. So I had to like literally take him out. So it might just be one of those things where Joe Buck thought he was only hearing that, you know what I mean?
Right. And
not realizing that it was over the air. Because I've actually ran into that a couple times now where it's like, or I think it's not over the air, and then I think it is over the air. Oh my God.
Yeah, so that was an interesting Friday for them. And then Sunday, I brought up the comment because, Tommy Fleetwood was having a round. Shot, 63?
Yeah, he was on fire. I'm trying to find the scores right
18
now.
Almost got a 62. That would have took him to a playoff, if that
was Sunday.
If that would have scored on Sunday, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like watching like his, the first 9 holes he was playing, and like Joe Buck, and then they're just talking about like the leaders coming out, in a couple hours. They were even like focusing on Fleetwood, who was having a great round. I was like, Fleetwood's actually coming back on this, guys. Like, start talking more about Fleetwood here.
You sent a tweet out, I believe. Right?
Yeah, I sent a tweet out like I usually don't bash, like networks and stuff for their coverage, but like that was like pretty sorry. They just kept kind of showing him on the screen, like playing, but they never like brought it up or mentioned anything about it,
Yeah, because he made a big run. Is Fleetwood a known golfer? Because I'd never heard of him. This was the first time I'd seen him.
I've heard of him. He's known. Like, he won in Dubai this year, which nobody watches. Either go to Dubai or go to Phoenix Open, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, we were at the Open.
So it's one of those deals. But I think just like his personality-wise, he has a good look. It's not like your typical golfer look. He has like long hair.
But it's not just a look; it's his body language when he walks, and like he's just like, ba-dum.
Like he just looks cool, and that's why I like him for that reason alone. Like there's a lot of like old school golf fans who are like, it's all about Tiger this, Tiger that. They don't give the new guys a chance, but I give these new guys a chance. Like I love Dustin Johnson.
The thing about Fleetwood that when I first noticed him, was laughing about him, I told you, was I watched him hit a ball, like it went into the rough, and the rough's up to people's knees, and most golfers get mad. They like talk to themselves. He literally just shrugs his shoulders and then starts just walking down the fairway, just nonchalantly, like not a care in the world.
Like,
and then he went and he put it on the green and ended up parring the hole, and most guys were bogeying or double bogeying it, and it was just like this guy doesn't have a care in the world.
And like I had a guy like was trying to tell me at work, like, nobody cares about golf. Golf is just too, because who's this guy who won the Masters? I was like, well, you would know about these guys, except ESPN only wants to talk about Tiger.
Oh,
like that's all they do is Tiger this, Tiger that, Tiger this, Tiger that. Like
that was my rant for a while there. Well, even going into this tournament, the morning of Thursday morning, they opened the broadcast by saying, "Oh, I talked to a couple guys in the know in the thing." They were talking about how they talked to a couple of the caddies, and they were watching Tiger hit the last couple of days for practice, and they were saying things like, "Oh, watch out, he's going to be on fire," and he was 40-1 going into the weekend. Or before the tournament, and then it went to 20-1, I believe, on Thursday morning. So all these people are putting all these things in there, and then he just goes out there, and it looks like he's never played a round of golf in his life.
He would have made the cut. The cut was 8? It went down, like we were projecting 6, and then it went down to 8. It's like, Rory was already done. Like after the first round, he's like 10 over.
Yeah.
So
I enjoyed, I know it's taking a lot of crap right now for the high scores, but I actually found it fast. Now, I'm not saying I want to see this every weekend, but it was exciting watching guys shoot 74, 65, 71, 66 on a par 70 course, Fleetwood shot a 67 Thursday, 70 Friday, 68 Saturday, 72 on Sunday. And, and it's just like
660 on Sunday. Are you talking Fleetwood?
No, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm looking at it backwards. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, my bad. I was looking at it backwards. I was reading it backwards. But yeah, so it was 63 on Sunday, right?
Yeah, 63 on Sunday.
Yeah, 63 on Sunday. Because, yeah, he would have done it. But, just those scores fluctuating that much on a deal is just an awesome thing, I think. I thought it was great to watch. I'm not going to...
What I like about it is it was like more of a survival of the fittest type golf, tournament.
I think it's good every once in a while for a professional athlete to not be babied.
Right.
And which goes into this conversation. So Phil Mickelson on Saturday is playing like garbage. He can't figure the greens out. All of his putts are going 30 feet long. So he goes up there and he hits a putt, and it's going to run forever.
Yeah, it was going back to like the tee box if that thing would have went down that hill.
So he runs and he hits it while it's still rolling and hits it back up again. So basically he can try to re-hit it again. And the rule, every golf person goes ape crap, about how it's unprofessional, all this stuff on the broadcast. They're just going ape crap. I mean, people are like, he needs to withdraw right now, and the rules state that it's just a two-stroke penalty, and everybody's just flipping out about how it'd be, he's detrimental to golf and all that stuff. And the thing I just wanted to bring up was like, the rule says it's a two-shot penalty. And it's stupid that people are trying to say that he needed to withdraw for the sake of the game and his own deal. Actually, I found it pretty smart. Well, first of all, he was sending a message to the USGA that their course sucks.
Yeah.
But then, two...
Like, you just tell by his body language after your buddy, he's like, shit, hang on. Let me roll this back up. It was like, going out on a Saturday afternoon with your boys, after drinking some beers.
Yeah, you shoot a 9, and what do? You, grab your ball, and you, throw it in the water, and you storm off to the car and all. But...
You use the paint stick? Yeah, it was close enough. That one counted.
I know, right? Yeah. And... people are just going ape crazy over it, and a two-stroke penalty. But it goes to the thing that is like, I have 2 points on this. One is it was nice to see professional golfers cry like babies because they didn't get their way and the course wasn't set up the way they wanted. They didn't like the rough because it was too long. They didn't like the greens because they dried out because of the wind, and they cried about it. And which brings me to my second point is, hey, professional athletes, little service message for you. I know you live in a bubble of good golf. Basketball players, I know you live in an NBA bubble. Same thing with football players. I know you live in an NFL bubble where that is your whole world. But those of us that aren't in that world don't want to hear you come out and say something's not fair. Zach Johnson. You shot a 72.
Zach Thomas.
Oh, Zach Thomas, sorry. You shot, no.
It wasn't
Johnson?
No.
Whoever you are, Zach, whoever you are, don't even care at this point. You shot a 72 on Saturday, 2 over, and you're complaining that the course was quote-unquote unfair. We don't want to hear it. Sack up, play the game. The course is the way it is. You have to go through it. If you don't like it, pick up your clubs and go home. You crybabies, crybabies, and crybabies. Rant over.
But the USGA did say that they did make a mistake with the whole location.
I'm not saying it wasn't ridiculous. I'm not saying that it was crazy.
But
I'm saying it was fun to watch.
Play the same hole. Yeah, everybody plays the same course. Like, that's the thing about it.
Every player. And the best part is he's sitting there complaining about it at whatever, 11 o'clock our time in the morning. And that's before DJ goes out there with a 4-stroke lead and loses it by the end of 3 holes and then proceeds to suck the rest of the round. If anybody should have complained about it being unfair, it should be the guys that went out in the afternoon, not the guys before. But it's just super annoying that I get it. It's your bubble. It's your world. It's all you're thinking about at that moment. You don't care about anything else. But... the public just does not care how unfair you think your life is on the golf course.
But what happens with most people, though, is when something bad goes our way, and even in everyday life, not just professional athletes, we tend to just think about our stuff. Like if we were driving somewhere, like say we had to go, let's go to a D-backs game, and we get stuck in traffic. We're like, oh man, this traffic sucks. Okay. And we care about we're not the only one stuck in traffic. Okay. Everybody's stuck in traffic.
I got something for you on this.
What?
Okay.
Leave earlier?
So no, yeah. But he could have turned around at any point and called over a rules marshal or a course person and bitched to them nonstop on the course, right? He has avenues to complain about this. You don't finish your round, fill out your scorecard, and then go to the podium and say how unfair it is. Go up there and complain about the course and its setup and everything. But he used the words and said it's unfair to us that it's this way. They lost I don't have a problem with them saying they lost the course today. I don't have a problem with those comments. It's when he goes up there and complains about how unfair it is. It's no different than, I watched the soccer game this morning and Poland got effed by the ref against, not Tunisia, the other Senegal. And I didn't watch the post game, but if the coach goes up there and says it's unfair this happened to us, I would lose my understanding mind. You complain about how bad the call was, you complain about all that, but you don't sit there and tell us how unfair your life is. Use different language. It just annoys the living crap out of me. And by the way, everybody on Twitter, because everybody on Twitter was complaining about it also.
Everybody had a complaint.
So I
say let the golfers complain.
Complain. Tell us how the course sucked. I'd love to hear how you think the course was unfair, because that's stuff that I don't know, and it'd be cool to hear, but just going up there and being like it's unfair.
So you, in other words, just thought he sounded like a baby about it.
Yeah, sack up. I don't want to hear how, because you know what? I go out to Joe Schmo course out here, and I think that's unfair. And he would go out there and play with his putter the whole round and shoot par. And I go out there with my regular clubs. I think that's unfair. But I don't sit there and go, your superstitious rings, your course is completely unfair. I had to hit my driver twice. Because your length was way too long.
I played at a course down in Avondale. Me and Matt one time played at a course down there, and it was just totally gray. It was the middle of summer, So I can't complain. I mean, we spent $12 on a round, with cart, so you can't complain about it. But it was just
50 cents.
You're oh, how's the cart or how was the course? It sucked, but can't complain. Bad day at the golf course is better than a good day at work, right?
Yeah, and then, like I said, I get there in a bubble, and I get all that, but it just drives me nuts when people say things are unfair. And golf's a little different because the people that watch golf probably, higher class, I guess you could say, then, but it drives me nuts when football players do it too, It's unfair the ref made that call. Oh my God. Nothing unfair about it.
Bad calls happen. I wish they would take replay out of everything.
Oh, replay's always been my...
I hate replay.
I like replay because on really, really bad calls, it's nice to get it right. But, we didn't have a podcast then, but, the NFL went totally other, where when you watch a replay for 5 minutes, you're trying to find the reason why you need to overturn it. And that's where it goes bad.
It was like that Steelers player who got the ball over the line, but then they were trying to find a reason. Yeah, and even Tony Romo mentioned on the broadcast, look at this long, they're trying to find something wrong with this.
If the whole point of replay is to, let's go look at it. Even soccer's using replay this year, and it worked well. A guy shot a ball the other day, hit the top of the post, came straight down, and they called it no goal. And they went to the video replay, and it showed that it went completely over the line. So that's the way it worked. Now, if they would have sat there and looked at it they figured it out in 2 seconds.
Right.
If they would have sat there and looked at it for 5 minutes and gone, if it's that close in slow motion replay, then the call stands.
It's like last night we were watching the D-backs Angels game, and Mike Trout tried to steal second, was out by a country mile. The original call was safe, but the umpire, obviously the angle he was at, he didn't see that Marte got the tag on his back, but the replay showed from the other angle that you could see from the first baseline, he clearly caught the ball and tagged him 5 feet away from the back.
And it took them less than a minute to figure that out.
Yeah, it was 20 seconds they were in.
That's the way replay should work. If they would have sat there and looked at that for 8 minutes or 3 minutes, 5 minutes, then it's all right, if we have to study it this much to find out, then the call needs to stand. That's my problem with replay. It goes that far, So, but quit crying, people. We don't want to hear it.
Congrats to Brooks Koepka for winning the U.S. Open. I can't believe we just talked 18 minutes about golf.
Yeah, well, I had to go off.
You had a little tangent.
My golf rant.
Little tangent there.
It was about golf.
Yeah, it was about golf. I like it.
But I like the low scores. They should do that more often. I hate when they shoot like minus 17. The winner,
Oh, yeah.
the winner is minus 17 for the weekend. It's like, great. So he
Like, what's the point?
birdied every hole. Like, what? Yeah, I don't. Was there any challenge to that whatsoever for him? You know. So I go on that side of it. So did you see the new jerseys that are for sale, dude?
No. New jerseys? What, Nike coming out with some new swag for NFL or
The,
just baseball?
oh,
Under Armour's taking over the baseball contract soon, are they?
Are they really?
Yeah, you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't follow the jersey stuff. No. The signed autograph, you can buy them both for $9,999.
Is this the killer
Killer
combo?
combos, yes.
Gosh, such a great line, right?
I'll let you explain it.
So somebody on eBay, I don't have the gentleman's name or anything on eBay, but he has posted the jersey of one O.J. Simpson and also Aaron Hernandez on eBay for just $1 shy, or actually a penny shy, I guess, of $10,000.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he's going to get that much.
No.
I don't know if he just wants to throw this in a bid.
I know.
But he posted it. Hey, get your rare combo, O.J. Simpson, Aaron Hernandez jerseys, signed, framed, everything. And he has like the O.J. like book picture where it's like him, like his mugshot photo.
Yeah, it's his mugshot.
They don't have the Aaron Hernandez mugshot, so I'm kind of sad about that.
No.
Nor do they have a sheet in there, but would have put him a little bit better with a sheet and a knife, right?
Yeah.
And but he posted on there.
Does he have a glove?
Yeah, the leather glove.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
But he posted on there, get this rare combo, and he's like #killer combo.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny when I saw that. Like some guy thought that was a great idea, and it just kind of went viral. Like Sunday night was it?
Yeah, I think it was Sunday night. Yeah, my days all run together now. But they're both autographed, which obviously you're not going to get one of those autographs anymore.
Right.
So I don't know. Just the things people do in their lives to bring joy to the rest of us just cracks me up.
And there were probably some people who thought this was a good idea. I thought it was
course.
hilarious.
I thought it was great. Like, if you have two signed jerseys from two people that are, committed murder.
Well, we don't know about OJ yet.
Yeah,
All right. Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, we
Innocent until proven guilty.
We know.
The glove don't fit. You must acquit.
We know.
All right, racist.
Dang, went there.
I watched the entire FX series, The People versus OJ, so yeah, I can go there.
What angle did that take? Because there was like 9 OJ movies that came out at the same time.
It pretty much just took like the whole thing because it had Cuban Gooding Jr. He was OJ. It had David Schwimmer.
Show me the money.
David Schwimmer was his good friend who was
David Schwimmer's working again?
Yeah. The guy who played Ross. He was who's the Kardashian dad? He was that guy.
Kardashian.
Yeah, he was. I forgot like his first name though. What's his first name?
Robert Kardashian.
Yeah. Rob Kardashian. There was. So he played Rob Kardashian. It really was pretty good. It just kind of went through like the whole trial and how like it was daily. Like, so it had him like in the house, and I had him driving, like with his buddy, and he's like, you gotta, turn yourself in, OJ, turn yourself in, he's like the only one with like a car phone, or whatever, and just kind of like brought back up the memories, because I remember that happened, because remember the World Cup started that day in LA, like that was the first day of the World Cup.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And then it was also NBA playoffs were going on. The Knicks were playing. Yeah. Was it the finals?
Yeah, it was the finals.
Was it Knicks and Rockets in the finals?
And they put the basketball game in a small box.
Yeah, they small boxed it.
So OJ
and OJ was big box, which was awesome. Like this whole thing. Like now you hear like, oh, so and so got arrested, for doing this, but this was like a big deal because it comes out Nicole Brown's dead. Oh, we all think OJ did it. Then OJ's on the run in the white Bronco. Just driving down LA, and he wasn't even driving. He wasn't a wild car chase.
No, they were going slow.
It was like the only day there was no traffic in LA, which was crazy.
Wasn't driving. It was Cowlings or whatever.
It was his friend.
Yeah.
But that was like the one day there was no traffic in LA. I guess they was at the World Cup.
How old were you when that happened?
I was it 94, right? So I was 6 or 7. Was it 94, 95?
Had to have been, because I was at work. I left my house, my parents' house. I was still in high school. I was a senior. So I left my parents' house with the basketball game on, went to work, walked in, and everybody was like, oh my God, OJ's on the run. So we sat there and watched it. original movie theater, so I was the guy that went up to the thing, to start the movies back then and everything. So I sat up in the thing and watched it on a little TV up there and everything. So it's amazing how you remember where you were and what situations and everything.
And I remember like the whole trial they actually showed on air, and my mom would get so pissed off because she watched her soap operas, but the entire trial was on, and she's like so mad.
The week leading up to the verdict, I was going to ASU, and every day the week leading up to the verdict, they let us out so we could watch the TV. And then when they announced what time the verdict was, literally the teacher canceled class so we could all watch it. And I watched it at the Memorial Union at ASU, at least back then. I don't know if it still does, have the bowling alley downstairs with these TVs and lounges where it's really creepy because on a normal day you walk down there and like all these people are sleeping on these couches, right. As you're walking through it, these giant TVs, and we watched the verdict there, so it was pretty fun. I remember being like, "No justice," when they announced it and everything, and I was like,
not my life. I'll move on.
Yeah. Right? But everybody else, some people were pretty upset about it, but I just remember going, and I think I went up to, Taco Bell or something and got lunch. I was like, I got out of class an hour early, sweet.
I just imagine like what that would be like now. If that happened, like today's world, I mean, obviously, like Twitter would blow up. Everybody would be focusing on it. I mean, it'd have like a hashtag white Bronco with a little Bronco emoji, like Twitter's quick to get that, the glove don't fit, have a little glove, with blood on it.
Well, it would be like anything else. That got so blown out of proportion so fast without all the social media and stuff. So imagine today how fast and blown out.
It'd be crazy.
I mean, you were pretty young, but I mean, it was one of those things where like, every day it was like some new explosive thing would come out.
We found out this, we found out that.
There's some homeless guy that's renting a room from OJ and sleeping on his couch, and it was a Cato. We saw him recently on basketball.
Yeah, we did see him.
It's just like, what in the world is happening here, and all that stuff. It's just, all the good old days.
The good old days. Yeah, it's just one of those crazy things, like those one in a lifetime type deals, like you're never going to have that again.
I mean, for murders and stuff like that, but I mean, the closest thing to it would be the Aaron Hernandez stuff, where, everything was, there was social media then, and everybody was talking about that.
And even like the reports are coming out, because remember, he was going through his trial and he was supposed to go back on trial because there was like new stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And like one of the guys was saying, it was kind of like, the homeless guy living it with OJ. It was like some like drug lord who like was trying to find like a YouTube following or something like that. It was like
recording everything.
And he like came up with this like memoir. He's like, Aaron Hernandez got in the car and said, "I'm going to shoot you," or something like that. It was like some weird deal. Yeah. Like I remember listening to a show and they were like talking about this guy like saying all this stuff, just making fun of it, because the story was so like, it seems so fabricated, but it probably was true.
That's the problem that's the problem. Well, as they go on another rant here, that's the problem with social media. Is most of the crap you read on there is made up crap.
Right.
So that's the thing. So if something like that happened today, OJ happened today, everything you'd read about it would be made up. Oh my God, OJ never had those leather gloves. He had couture from Italy, and he sold those. He gave those to a kid. Here's the video of him giving it to a kid 2 years ago.
Because everything is like recorded now. I remember the guy got in trouble for like, the Mets man got fired for flipping off the other team 2 years ago. Like, geez.
Yeah. No, actually,
everything's on video.
When I was picking up Ethan, I had Colin Coward on for what reason I don't know, but he was talking about how when he walks into restaurants and everything, he looks around at people and see who has their phones out and everything, so he knows who he has to like be careful what he does, what he does and stuff, because he knows people might be recording me, and if I go to a bar, somebody could put up that I've been at a bar for 6 hours, or if I put my head down on a bar, somebody could report that I've been drinking for 6 hours, and I'll be talking to my bosses about how I'm not a lush. It's not true. So it's just funny, but
it totally makes sense. Today's world, you got to be careful. Like, even us, we're doing these videos now for the racetrack. It's like, all right, we go through and cut, like, we can't say that, we can't put that on there.
Well, that's what's amazing about it is like I've become like socially conscious, I guess you could say, about what is said, because even like I hear some things that some people say and it's recorded and I'm like, well, they don't mean it that way, and I'm like, oh my God, but that's gonna like come back horribly on the company.
Shitstorm,
I know, like, oh my god, that could totally get taken out of context. It's just like, holy crap, did he say that really? And then you find out they're talking about some leaf flying through the air.
Right.
And you're just like, oh wow. It's like, oh my gosh. But so that's all I got. It's a pretty slow week with no racing going on for Father's Day.
Well, they did race at Iowa, which, like I said, we'll talk about that in the Racing with Jason podcast. Also, we will get into a little bit of dirt track fans versus NASCAR fans, I guess you can say. That's my teaser. That's a little update to the teaser I'm giving you tomorrow.
Nice.
For who Public Enemy number 1 is. But
pretty much the only thing going on is baseball, which Diamondbacks are playing the Angels right now. I was excited to watch that game last night, even though it was a dud.
Kept freezing.
And then tonight, two crappy pitchers, but it's always good to see Mike Trout. I didn't know the Angels were coming later on in the year here. That'd be good to see.
Yeah, Rangers are coming next month, so we actually went to the game last Thursday night. We went Thursday or Wednesday night. I think it was Thursday night.
Days are so much.
I don't remember.
It was Thursday night.
Yeah, because the opening game of the Mets series.
Yeah, because then I went to Flagstaff the next day.
I heard the funniest thing actually. This made me feel better about my life. Actually, there's a lot of things throughout the day that made me feel better about my life. Like working at GoDaddy and having somebody say, "I'll be able to pay that $5 renewal here in a little bit. I gotta put money on the card." And I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I'm not you. But I was getting my nachos at the field, and the guy was talking to me, and I prefer, but he heard my accent. I guess I have an accent. I don't hear it, but he said,
"No, you don't at all."
All right, thank you. No. He was like, "Oh, where are you from?" I was like, "Texas." He's like, "Oh, heck yeah, man." He's like, "Rangers?" I was like, "Yeah." So he knuckled me, and then he was talking about how it was the food worker guy, and he was talking about how his brother does it for the Rangers. I was like, "Your mom must be so fucking proud."
Well,
your mom
aren't you being an elitist? Aren't you being an elitist right now?
I'm just an entitled prick now. I don't know. Has him up on club level.
I know you're
making fun of this guy.
So spoiled. I know.
You spoiled me, Steve.
I know. Well, you know what my joke always is? This is people are like, well, you can go downstairs and get that. I'm like, I can't go down with the commoners. I'll catch something down there.
I said it to somebody. Well, that's because I had somebody who was at the game. They're in the third deck, best seats in the house. And I was like, not really. You're with the common folk. You're with the worst common folk, too. If you're 2 rows behind the dugout, that'd be legit.
No, there's some legit lower level stuff, but we're still better than them, right?
Right. But no, speaking of moms, my mom, thank you for listening to the podcast, actually. She
is this the apology?
She left no, not apologizing for anything. She left the comments on there. So last week I said she took horrible photos. Apparently it was not my mom that took the horrible photos. It was my niece, Jessica, who took the horrible photos and posted them on social media. It was actually my other niece, Tatum, who posted them on social media 2 days later because my mom doesn't know how to lump up photos altogether. And
You're going sideways on this apology.
So she commented on it, and I told her it wasn't an apology. And then she later wrote me a text message, which I Snapchat and people thought was funny, when she said, "I didn't realize that your podcast was X-rated. I thought it was all about sports." It's like, well, Mom, we're just two guys who like to talk. There's really nothing.
This is us. A little backstory here is, and we've actually debated about doing this, getting a camera with us, nothing egregious or anything, and just walking around so we can show people that what we're doing right now on the podcast is what we do in real life.
Except here we're sitting down, but when we go out in public, it gets 10 times worse because we just look down at people.
That reminds me. That's what I was gonna bring up.
Who are you looking at? There's nobody over there.
No, I was looking
right.
Now, right? I was looking for your thing over here. So people, I went off on the shots rants last week.
Oh, my Jack Daniels, honey. Is that what you're looking for?
Why in the world do you people
watch out, you can't say that.
Flavored alcohol? What world do we live in?
You're gonna break the
where
glass.
My grandparent, it's worth breaking this table right now. Your grandfather woke up in the morning and poured a fifth of Jack or whiskey or rum or whatever.
It didn't have a label. It was labeled whiskey.
Drank it, and he burned his mouth and his eyes watered, and he drank it happily.
And then when he got shot in Vietnam, he poured that whiskey in his wound.
Exactly. And nowadays, you kids, you people are getting flavored everything. What is going on in this world? do you really need a peach schnapps Jack Daniels whiskey?
I've never had
Do
peach
you?
schnapps Jack Daniels.
Do you need a honey one?
Peach schnapps is gross.
Do you need a honey one?
No.
Do you need a fireball shot?
I really
Do you need
don't.
one that tastes like black licorice is the grossest thing on the human planet ever.
Oh, I don't know.
And
People drink Jaeger.
drink
It's gross.
Jaeger shots. Ew. People, quit being wussified. Let's go. Drink your alcohol like your grandparents did. Grow some hair on your chest. Get your hair out of a bun. Men.
Yeah, no
Pull
man
your pants
buns.
up.
No man buns.
Get out of the skinny jeans, man. Let's start doing this right.
Let's
get to some whiskey sours. Let's get some 7 and 7s going. Let's get some man drinks. None of this foo whatever. I don't even know the names of them.
No Scooby snack shots.
Yeah.
No pink pussies.
Yeah. No.
No Charlie apples.
I have a problem. Okay, Blue Moon. They serve it with an orange slice. I have a problem with that. But at least it's, a beer, right, or whatever. It's not flavored honey or cherry or. I told you that story about that restaurant I was at, and that guy was trying to talk me into vodka cranberry, and he was trying to talk me into using a cranberry flavored vodka. With cranberry, and he actually had me taste it because he was convinced it would be better.
Was it?
Ridiculous. Be a man.
Was it
and
better?
drink. No, it tasted like cranberry. It was cranberry flavored vodka with I took a sip of it because he gave me a little bit to taste, and I was like, "Wow, I'm drinking a cranberry right now." People, go. The wussification of America starts right there.
We need to make America great again.
Seriously, flavored alcohols.
Make whiskey great
They're
again.
for women and kids.
That's why I buy them. I buy them for the women. I take care of my ladies. I take care of my women's.
You bought the Jack Daniels honey
In Vegas.
in a liquor store when it was you and me in Vegas going to a hockey game. So, unless you're calling me a lady right there.
I don't know.
Anyway, thank you for making me remind me of that. My little rant today.
I'm glad I could bring that back up. All
I'm
the
having
great
a lot of
memories.
alcoholic rants lately.
All right, you should probably drink more.
I mean, is that my problem? I don't drink, so I go off on it, and it annoys me even more. Is that the problem?
You people.
Like, yes. Like, I'm not even gonna narrow it down to because shots are all old people and everything, but this flavored garbage. Come on.
I enjoy a good green tea shot. I ain't gonna lie. It has Jameson in it and some other stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. It's good.
Long Island iced teas are not good alcoholic drinks, ladies and gentlemen.
No, but when you're looking to get fucked up, they do serve a purpose.
Really. So, a regular shot of a regular whiskey isn't gonna F you up.
Yeah, it's gonna F
You
me
have to go
up.
flavored.
It's gonna F me up as the dog starts barking.
I know.
I don't know why he's barking.
He wants
Dog,
the
there's
whiskey.
nobody here.
He wants the whiskey.
Clap, clap. Hey, nobody's here, dog. All right, well, he's just going on this thing.
He doesn't like the whiskey comment either. So, but anyway, yeah.
But no, when I'm
Okay.
looking, I don't know, like, I don't get that, like, sour, like, oh, God, that just really stung and burned, face when I'm at the bar. I like the, when you drink with the ladies, so you get a couple of green tea shots, line them up, go to Pound Town. And, like, 2 hours after you get that green tea shot. You know what I mean? Cha-ching! That was a sex reference.
If only you guys could see my face.
That was a sexual reference.
No, I got what you were saying. I'm just in disbelief that you have to drink a lady's drink in order to get a lady.
You know what happens when girls do drink Jameson all day? They end up throwing up all over your fucking couch.
Yeah, you need to solve that problem. Still, it's still there.
You can still smell it?
I haven't sat on it in a couple days now.
I didn't smell it
spray
the
it?
other day.
Oh, you sprayed
Yeah.
that stuff? Oh, maybe it's gone now. Yeah, thanks for that, Jason. Thanks for that.
I was just throwing you a bone, man. Like, hey, dude, she's passed out on the couch. Do
Oh.
whatever you gotta do.
Oh yeah, let's be creepy, rapey, Steve. Now,
go Cosby on that deal.
yeah, it was her 18th birthday, and Jason's feeding her Jameson. Oh, please come get him! Dang, was I joking? Was I not joking? What do you guys think?
Who knows? 22nd birthday, by the way.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, she was a bitch, though.
I don't know. I was laughing at her when I was down here cooking breakfast, and she looked like she was death on the couch.
She was death. It looked rough for her. She lived a hard life that night.
What did you do with that trash can she was barfing in all night?
She didn't puke on that. I put it out there.
Oh, she puked on everything
it.
but it?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Carter.
Yes, that's my life. That's my life.
He's going to have to buy me a new couch here soon.
We just got a new one.
Yeah.
The struggle is real.
Yeah. So anyway, a big tangent there about Jason's life.
For the record, did not sleep with her. Did not sleep with that girl. For the record. Did not do anything with that girl. Just slept on the couch. I slept in my room. Nothing happened.
Except for throw up everywhere.
Except for the barf everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyways,
thank you.
We're the Main Event Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at the Main Event Pod, Facebook as well, the Main Event Pod. Hit me up on Twitter at JasonCarter03. Follow Steven at
SMAC500.
You can also hit me up on Snapchat. Same line or same
they all have
same
the same
name.
stuff.
So does Steve. Instagram as well. Thanks for listening once again. God bless you. God bless the troops, and God bless America.
See ya.